Welcome to another video for WinBid Pro version 16 by GDS Estimating. In this one I'd like to talk about transom glass and specifically the transom settings in a door frame. So right here I have just a simple elevation, 3 panels, and a single door with a transom. And if I zoom in here with this transom glass, or this transom, the glass is in the blue, the frame is kind of the white outlined lines here. You'll notice there's no bite in that transom head, and there's no bite on the door jambs, but on the side lights I've got glass bite on the frame header and on the right side, on the side light end of the door jambs. So I know I have glass bite here, but I know I don't have any here. So my glass, if I were to print a report right now, would come out just the daylight opening. So that's obviously not good. So we want to go in, I want to show you how to make adjustments to the transom glass via the transom settings. And I'm going to change just the settings for this elevation. And remember that you can pick a door frame that's being used by an existing elevation in a job when you create a new elevation, or select a new door frame. You can say, I want to use the frame from elevation whatever. But the changes I make here will just be for this elevation. And if you do want to make changes permanently in your catalog and have them apply for future use, like when you pick the same frame later, you want to go up to catalogs and go to your door frames list and make your changes there. So keep that in mind. But for this example, we're just going to change it in this elevation. Once you get to this window, it's the same thing. It's just a matter of what data it's updating. So here we see transom glass bite. We've got, and we didn't really label these, but it's kind of obvious that it's left, top, right, bottom. We want to put some values in here. So let's say we want 1/4 inch on the left, 1/2 inch on the top, 1/2 inch on the bottom. This is just for fun to show you the difference. And then we can hit save. So it's going to update the drawing, and you'll notice right away I've got some glass bite now. And you'll notice that I've got more glass bite on the top than I do on the side. And then same goes down here. I've got more glass bite on the bottom than I do on the side, and that's because of the values I entered. So what you see is what you get, and then the values that you enter are immediately updated in the drawing. So let's go back and change a couple other things. Let's say that's with no transom stop material, so that's just glass bite, right? So now if I want to put glass stop in, I'm going to actually click into these areas where transom stop. And let's say there's a bottom stop because there's a concealed closer or something. So I've already created a bottom transom stop, but let's see what that means. So if I go to components, then I've got an assembly called transom stop, and I can edit that, and I can tell it the profile of that stop, I can give it a name, and I can also assign a part to it. So that is my transom stop assembly, and when I go back to properties here, I can click this drop down and select that assembly. So now I'm saying use that transom stop at the bottom. If there were like a top transom stop and there's nothing assigned or created yet, I can always say add new, and I can say top transom stop. I can give that a profile. Let's say that's only a 1/2 inch. I can assign a part number. I can either click in here and add a part number, or since I don't really know one off the top of my head, I can do the browse list, and I can even type in transom stop to look for that description, and I have a couple here that I can pick from. And I'm in the CMI, or no, I'm in Connier's catalog actually, so it depends on what catalog you're in, obviously. So now I've assigned the profile, I've named it, and I've given it a part number. So now I've got an additional transom stop assembly, which if I scroll down here, you'll see that there's the first one, the bottom, and there's the second one, the top. And I can add a left and a right if I wanted to. It all works the same. So now if I go back to properties, I can click in this top area that says none right now, and I can select top transom stop. So now, since that stop's only a 1/2 inch, I'm going to change my glass bite to a 1/4 inch. Since the bottom stop was 3/4, a 1/2 inch glass bite should work fine. So, and I'll show you, because we can see what's going on once we go back to the drawing. So now you can see an additional white line here. That's my top transom stop that I assigned, and then there's my glass bite. And back to the bottom stop, it's a thicker profile, so it's showing that with the white line, and it's a bigger glass bite. So there you can see I've kind of totally fine-tuned or customized my glass size and my transom conditions just by changing those settings in the door frame system. So again, I only changed it for this elevation, but you can go into the catalogs menu and go to the door frame list and pick a door frame. You can even kind of select which one you want to work with, but if not, you just move off of that and pick something from the list here. So yeah, that's pretty much what you do when you need to fine-tune transom glass sizes and transom conditions. Thanks very much.